And welcome, everyone, to our NFL film studio here in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. I'm James Brown, and although Phil Simms hates the title of choir boy, he is choir boy. He doesn't like the fact that Chris Collinsworth is called Mr. Sunday Night. And a pleasure to welcome to the studio Mr. All-Pro himself, linebacker formerly with the Ravens and the New York Jets, Bart Scott. Interesting that you're here with the press because you had a media blackout, if you will, not talking to the press in New York. We'll get into that a bit more later. But the big topic all week long, Peyton Manning, with that loss to the Baltimore Ravens, folks are debating his legacy, that his legacy is tarnished because as you take a look at this graphic, he's 9-11 in postseason play, 11 playoff losses. That's tied for the most all-time. 8 losses in opening rounds of playoffs, whether it's wild card or the first time that they play if they got a first-round bye. And 0-3, I love this, Phil, when the temperature is below 40 degrees.
40, wow.
I think it's a bunch of hogwash. The guy is clearly, in my book, one of the best ever. But let me play Joe Fan here. He has his legacy tarnished. You agree?
Not at all. His legacy is stamped and still improved. To come back from the type of injury that he had and elevate this team from a bottom wild card team to the best record in the NFL is amazing. He's almost arguably the greatest quarterback, definitely the greatest quarterback of my generation.
Wait a minute. Tom Brady now winning.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, Tom Brady's had, I believe, a greater supporting cast. He's had defensive, when Peyton was in Indianapolis, he was a one-man show. He showed his value last year when he wasn't there, how that team went from a perennial playoff team to only winning 2 games. And when you think of Peyton Manning, I think of Wilt Chamberlain. I think of a guy who had all the individual accolades but didn't quite have all the team accolades. But then when I think about Tom Brady, I think about Bill Russell. Oddly enough, they're both in Boston. Yeah, they're up in Boston. But, so I put Peyton as the greatest quarterback.
Right.
I put Tom Brady as the greatest winner.
Who would you fear the most in a Super Bowl, Tom Brady or Peyton Manning?
I fear Peyton Manning because...
Really? Okay.
I've been carved up. I've been carved up. He served me up for turkey plenty of times.
Well, Chris, you heard the numbers. I mean, is Peyton's legacy tarnished in your mind?
Well, first of all, let's say that he had that team in a perfect position. He didn't give up the 70-yard pass at the end of the game. He had no timeouts left. They should have won the football game this time. The cold weather thing is an interesting discussion only because he had a chance to choose where he was going to go. He could have gone to San Francisco. Yep. He could have gone to Arizona and played with that tremendous defense. He could have gone to Tennessee. He opted to play in Denver, in part because of their great defense and everything. But I even said to him at the time, before the decision was made, it's like, wouldn't you rather be in a dome somewhere? So if you get this thing, what?
Before you go there, he could have came to New York.
Yeah.
He never considered going to New York. I can tell you that right now, but yeah.
Well, let me just say this. First off, this is not a pet peeve segment, but this word legacy, when did this, now it's part of the sports vernacular, legacy, elite, a legacy, and I just think it's just TV argument talks where let's talk about it. I mean, of course, he's going to go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. Let's don't forget, Peyton Manning really started what we see now. Back when he first, maybe his second or third year, the no-huddle offense, everything being on the quarterback, nobody in football was doing that. I said to many coaches, hey, why don't you let your quarterback do what they're doing in Indianapolis? No way. I'm not putting my future in the hands of a quarterback. They don't say that anymore, do they? But so he started that trend, and you look at that graphic, that is typical TV hogwash. 0-3 when the temperature's under 30. Well, let's see. Now, have we ever thought about, Bart, how many teams, you made a point, how many teams did he take to the playoffs that really didn't deserve to go there? Exactly. And once they got there, they had no chance. So we don't talk about that.
So is there no legitimacy, that is, in having this discussion at all? It certainly is dominating talk radio on the airwaves and on TV. Any legitimacy at all?
Well, he didn't have his best game. I mean, let's face it, to see him throw that interception after first of all, to see him scrambling to the right was a little unusual, then throwing back, across his body. And the first thing I thought of was the Carolina game where you said he was laughing going off the field. He threw a touchdown. He goes, oh, that's rule number 1. You never throw back across your body. I got away with the whole thing and all that.
That's the whole rule number 1 you never do. When you're in your 15th year, you kind of just say, who gives a
Sometimes when you get away with something, it comes back to haunt you later on, and it did in this case.
But do we have this discussion if you don't give up the deep pass?
Absolutely not. That's my point. Yeah.
Look, you're right, Bart. I understand why everybody's yelling about this now, because he has put up such greatness individually, like you talked about, that this is what it's come to. Just like the Atlanta Falcons. We don't care about the regular season, the public said. It's all about what you do in the playoffs. And, Chris, that throw across the body, the one thing that Peyton Manning did this year more than I've ever seen him do in his career, he was trying those throws. I did 5 of the games. In every single game, he ran out of the pockets running and threw across the field. Nobody said it was bad then.
So bottom line,
he did one too many.
Yeah, he did one too many.
You guys are poo-pooing this discussion about whether or not his legacy is tarnished.
It's not going to tarnish his legacy.
The man's won 4 MVPs and maybe a 55th this year, so, I mean, really.
All right. Well, guess what? Coming up later in the program, we're going to second-guess some coaching decisions as well.
That'd be way more fun.
It's going to be a lot more fun. All right, we'll do that in just a bit. All right, folks, time for the highlights. By the way, I'll play with Peyton any day. We kick off with the game we've just been talking about, Saturday's epic double overtime thriller between Denver and Baltimore.
Showtime. It's time to eat, baby. Let's go. Showtime.
Ravens players are on the field. It's almost time for football. Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning at the helm. Manning's postseason record not impressive.
You say you want to be champion? Go prove it. Let's go whoop these boys in. Everything you got.
Trendon Holiday back at the 20. Holiday backpedals, makes the catch at the 12. Holiday is going to get a shot here. Holiday steps out of a tackle. Here we go. Touchdown, Denver! Wow!
Yeah, it don't matter. We got to go ahead and do our thing. Oh, yeah. I'm going to get my Django Unchained on. Throw this thing off.
The Broncos and Ravens combined for 21 points in the first 5 minutes.
Lost the ball deep, down the middle. Torrey Smith has it at the 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Ravens!
Hey, watch me do my Django Unchained. Told you, hey, calm down.
Manning in the shotgun on 3rd down and 7. Looks to the right, fires, and it is broken up and intercepted. Torrey grab. He's going to the house, and the Ravens have taken the lead. 14-7.
Everybody calm down. Calm down. Here you go.
Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. We're all going to die.
The rest of regulation showcased the maddening brilliance of Peyton Manning.
I don't know how we're going to beat him. We hitting them, we getting there. Incompleting ball.
Denver 21, Baltimore 14.
I ain't turning it loose yet. I'm too busy playing the game with Peyton. Here.
Baltimore tied the game just before halftime.
Fires down the far sideline. Caught! Torrey Smith! What a grab! And the Ravens have tied it up.
Awesome. Awesome. You see you coming. You saw that good.
Second half kickoff in the air. Holiday, some 3 yards deep, decides to bring it out. The 5 to 10. Holiday makes a cut. 15-20. Holiday with the kicker to beat. Does so. Steps out of a tackle. Here we go again. Midfield. Holiday a foot race. You ain't going to catch it. Touchdown, Trendon Holiday.
He does it again.
I'll fight you, ass. That's my friend.
Oh, we don't know that.
He played for us.
I know, we don't know that.
Hey, it's a long game. We're going to do dirty tonight. Hey, we're going to kick your ass.
Manning led a 10-play, 88-yard drive for the go-ahead touchdown in the fourth quarter.
Peyton with a play fake, throws a screen. Thomas has it inside the 10. Thomas is going to be headed to the end zone. Denver touchdown. And the Broncos bounce in front, 35-28.
Well, we're not done yet.
Hey, the secondary is going to win the game for us.
Almost series. Let's go. It's going to go down the last second. Keep everything in front, baby.
Do what you do. There is no fear. There is no fear. Do what you do, man.
Clock is at 50, 49, 48. Flacco calls the play, 3rd down and 3.
The clock is running. They have to snap it quickly from the gun. Denver rushes 3. Flacco steps up, throws deep, far sideline. Jacoby Jones has it at the 20. Jacoby Jones, touchdown! And we are tied in Denver at 35.
Watching Joe Flacco, all of a sudden he looks up like, I see something.
Hey! I started stepping up and I could see the safety just sitting there. Raheem Moore, the deep safety, completely misplayed it. Safety didn't get over to help, blew by the corner.
That just absolutely cannot happen.
Hey, you got a long grass, you got a strong grass arm.
The Broncos invested 5 years and $96 million in their quarterback. The game was tied with 31 seconds left. They needed about 40 yards for a chance at a game-winning field goal. Opportunity for a franchise quarterback.
Manning under center, and he'll take the snap and take a knee, and we are heading to overtime in Denver.
They going for this in overtime?
Let's finish it. But we came in for something.
Don't y'all wish at a time like this y'all had Tim Tebow? Don't you wish y'all had Tim Tebow? What happened to Tebow Mania? Why y'all ship his ass out here so bad?
You know what he's doing. Feel me?
What are you doing?
You don't thought to say it. I'm beginning.
All right.
Manning in the shotgun. Looks left, nothing there, looks over the middle. Now he's chased out of the pocket. Manning's pass is intercepted. Corey Graham, and the Ravens take over and get set for some drama.
Hey, so field goal to win it? Hey, so field goal to win it?
A 47-yard field goal try in overtime to win it. Snap. Sam Cook with the hold. Kick on the way. Kick is long enough. It is good! And the Ravens are going to the AFC Championship game. And the miracle has come to pass.
We got each other, right? For life, man.
Hey, fun game, man. Fun game, baby.
Holy, my man.
Jokes.
And the Baltimore Ravens have beaten the Denver Broncos 38-35.
Wow. Terrell Suggs goes Tebow on the Denver fans, Chris. No question about it. Despair in Denver. But for the second straight year, Baltimore heads back to New England for the AFC Championship game. Now, I'm not sure if T-Sizzle is going to go to church after saying what he did to the Denver fans, but from one outspoken defensive player to another, is that the way he is?
I don't know whether to laugh or cry because that's my boy, and it was classic Sizzle. But then, poor Tebow, man, he can't cut a break. You know, but that's why I give them the advantage in this game.
Well, hold on. You give them the advantage. Baltimore is going into New England, Foxborough. Heavy underdogs, according to Las Vegas. They're not intimidated by the Patriots at all. As a matter of fact, they may even have a swagger. Ray Lewis, the emotion of that. Joe Flacco is playing well, but they're heavy underdogs.
They beat them earlier this year.
And beat them. Thank you, Chris.
But they don't have the pressure. They're supposed to lose, so they can go in there and lose. Where New England just went to the Super Bowl last year and got defeated. If they don't win the Super Bowl, because we've seen them, and we're not going to judge them on the AFC Championship, we're judging them on how many rings they can put together. That's the level and standard they put. Baltimore is playing with house money. Nobody expects them to go out to Denver and to win. So they're going to come out there. They're loose. They're going to play. They're not going to play tight. They got a lot of young teams over there.
Why do you think that, you said it, I heard you saying it just before we came on the air, you think this is the perfect matchup. Why do you think Baltimore matches up so well against the Patriots?
Because the Patriots, at its core, is a finesse football team. And the Baltimore Ravens...
football players don't like hearing the term finesse.
Well, their scheme forces them to be finesse. They're read and react defense, and they'll spread you out, throw the ball, try and get the numbers, offense.
Quick tempo.
Baltimore is perfect for that because what do you do to a team like that? You hit them in the mouth. And they got 4 goons over there.
Goons.
Goons.
Man, is a compliment. That's a compliment. Yeah.
And they can intimidate Wes Walker coming across the middle. He knows he has to pay the toll. You got Pollard over there that'll hit you. Ed Reed will hit you. Haloti Ngata will hurt you. And you got Ray Lewis in the middle cleaning up everything. And that's what intimidates. That's why when you look at and you analyze some of the losses by New England this year, look at the teams that they lost to.
Yeah, good point.
San Francisco went in there and physically dominated them.
San Francisco's got some goons.
They got some goons. They might even got a couple of goo goblins. That's a whole nother level. That's a whole nother level.
Goblins
here. This is good. I like this.
Phil's right there.
You look at Arizona, a lot of physical, tough players. Adrian Wilson, Peterson, Campbell. See, but you look at the teams that they've defeated, and that's why I knew that was going to be a bad matchup for Houston, is because the only goon they have is J.J. Watt. They got Smith. He's a baby goon. But you got to have physical players.
Let's see. What are you, Chris? Are you a goo goblin or whatever?
I got all my goo goblins knocked out of me, man. I'm telling you what. This game, though, is interesting to me on so many different levels. The Ravens team that we're talking about, and in particular the defense, is not the team that we saw for the majority of the year. I mean, think about this now. You've got Ray back. You've got Haloti back. And for the first time, I think, since he's come back, Suggs look like Suggs again. A couple sacks in the game, a forced fumble. You can't just put the Ravens uniforms out on the field and expect them to be the Baltimore Ravens defense. They got the guys back in there again. This is going to be a different game.
Yeah, some question. And there's a lot of animosity between the teams, which, I love.
Is it real, the animosity?
It's real. Because
real.
You got to think, it's 4 guys over there that has a sense of destiny. They understand that the core of the Ravens will never be the same. As soon as you take Ed Reed out, he's up for contract. Suggs is coming back from injury. Haloti's going to be there. Ray Lewis is retiring. Yeah. They've been over there trying. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. They've been trying to win the championship over there for since '02.
You're trying to get it.
Yeah, you know what? What's exciting about the game too is we talk about it is both teams are healthy. I know Gronkowski's out, but besides that, both teams are really firing the way they want to. You talked about the defensive side, how it's gotten healthy. You look at the Baltimore Ravens offensive line. We don't talk about it. You have Bryant McKinney and Michael Orr. Did you hear a lot about Von Miller and Elvis Dumerville last week?
Two pressures all day.
That's pretty significant to me. So when you get a football team that's healthy like that, and both of them are, it's going to make for an exciting
There's one matchup we've got at least mentioned in this game, and I think Aqib Talib coming over has been huge. It's allowed them to play some man coverage, do some things, help in the secondary. But he's going to have to take Torrey Smith this week. And Torrey Smith is a man. The first matchup, you have to remember, between these two teams, Torrey Smith lost his little brother. But Torrey was essentially the father and the brother brother to that young man at 2 o'clock in the morning, and he played on Sunday Night Football and had a tremendous game. This kid is as tough as any football player in the NFL, and going against Aqib Talib is going to be unbelievable.
It's going to be a great matchup because Aqib Talib is a man, too. This is a big corner who can play. And Ray Lewis, when he came back a couple weeks ago, I thought, well, we'll see. You know, I really didn't believe. Well, after these past 2 games, I believe because Ray Lewis has got those fresh legs.
Hey, look here. New England is peaking at the right time. The ground game has been pretty doggone strong, and even without Gronkowski, Brady is still magnificent. I mean, I understand why they're favorites, not necessarily heavy favorites. But now, are you biased? Do you really hate New England yourself?
Absolutely.
You do?
Unequivocally.
If you want to think about it, you can.
That's right. Nothing to think about?
Nothing to think about at all. But they better not leave Talib on him by himself. They better roll the safety over the top. I don't know if he got the afterburners that kid got.
All right. Hey, let's get back to the highlights. I heard him, Chris. And we head to the Georgia Dome for every Monday morning quarterback's dream game. The Atlanta Falcons hosting the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. So it's really personal with you then, huh?
Though? What's wrong
with hate?
No, it's a great thing.
We made a show out of it.
The Georgia Dome is loaded up and ready to go. Will it be Cinderella Seattle out of the 5-hole that'll meet San Francisco next Sunday for the NFC title? Or will Atlanta clear the last hurdle to being one of the best franchises in the National Football League?
Let me tell you something. It don't matter who over there. It don't matter because you know what? It's destined. It's destined. You got to believe it. We all we got. We all we need. 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 Get it up, man. Let's go, man. Hawks on 3. 1, 2, 3.
During the first 3 quarters, Atlanta buried the league's stingiest defense under an avalanche of points.
He need to go ahead and retire. I'm tired of him making plays.
Hey, Dirk, just keep the hammer on him.
That's going to step up. Look out. Roddy White is out there, and it is caught. Oh, a touchdown for Roddy White. Woo! And right now, the Falcons are just beating the Seahawks to the punch.
Good job. Great job adjusting to that throw. I had to put it there. Yeah.
Ryan fakes the toss, shovels inside. There's Snelling. Touchdown, Atlanta. Yes! Woo! What a call, Dirk. 27-7 now. The Falcons take the lead with 2:11 to play in the third.
You got to muster it up. Muster it up and keep doing things right. Just keep doing things right.
Just don't give up the big play, Mike. We're going to be fine.
Russell Wilson took advantage of the Falcons' soft coverage by repeatedly feeding the ball to tight end Zach Miller, who led all receivers with 142 yards.
That boy's laying out his mind. Ooh.
The tight end is killing us.
Seattle's wideouts also did plenty of damage.
And the Seahawks are slowly trying to reel the Falcons back in.
All about execution. One play at a time. Let's go. We finna beat these boys. Defense finna get off the field or get a turnover, and we're gonna take it right back down. Come on, D. Make a stop right here, D. Get to him.
4-man rush for Seattle. Ryan has time. He's going to throw down the near sideline. Here comes Earl. He's got an interception. Earl Thomas picks it off.
Gosh almighty. Here we go. Let's go.
Be ready for the comeback.
Russell has time. Looking, going to loft it over the top. He's got Zach Miller. Touchdown, Seahawks. And maybe the Hawks are right back in it. And there's some head shaking going on the Falcons sidelines.
There is some panic going on in this stadium right now. It's a ball game. Let's go play.
Russell Wilson and the offense back on the field with 3 minutes to play in the game. Seattle needs a touch and an extra point to win. Does he have another one in it? This is going to be a heart stopper, folks. Crowd roaring at Wilson.
This team, they've talked about, can you get it done in the playoffs? Here's your opportunity now.
Lynch is coming. Look out. Spins out of the play. He's rolling. Throws far side. Lynch down the far side. 20, 15, 10. He's knocked out of bounds. Inside the 5-yard line, and Russell Wilson has done it again. This could be one of the greatest finishes in Seahawks history. Lynch is going to get it. He powers forward.
take a 1-point lead, 28-27.
And things have gone very quiet in the dome.
All right, we got 31 seconds, Dirk. Need a field goal. Gotta believe, boys. We're gonna win it. Let's go, Matt. This is what we're all about, right here.
For Matty Ice, 2 timeouts and his wide receivers, there's always a chance in the minds of the Falcons.
And we've seen some things before out of this group in the black helmets, Arch. We'd really have to see something this time. Ryan on 1st and 10 off the 28. Snap to him. Seattle brings 4. Ryan looks, throws. There's Harry Douglas. The catch.
Timeout! Timeout!
Timeout, Mike Smith. 18 seconds left.
Hey, we're in great shape. We're gonna win this game right now. We only need about 10 more yards.
Gonzalez, the catch. 35. Tony tackle, 31-yard line.
Timeout! Timeout! Kick it. Kick it.
Field goal. Field goal. And Matt Bryant is coming on the field to try and kick the game winner. Here we go. 13 seconds left. 49 yards to give Atlanta the lead. The snap. Bosher the hold. The kick. Away. And it is good for Matt Bryant. And Atlanta leads 30-28 with 8 seconds left. Coach Carroll, you left number 2. Too much time on the clock.
Time for a kickoff and 1 play. The Seahawks have to have a miracle.
They're going to swivel, dog. Get down. Get down.
Bosher strides forward, and he's going to kick it on the ground. It's going to bounce around. The Seahawks are going to stop it right at midfield. And that's a great deal for the Seahawks.
I don't know why they tried that right there. That wasn't a great strategy.
Now you're close enough for Russell Wilson to take a shot.
Oh, brother. Boy, you plead to this group to get to the next level, Arch, and now it comes down to this.
Where's my pacemaker?
I don't know, baby. I'm too old for this. That's all I know.
Oh, my goodness. I need a defibrillator fast.
Oh, my God. I'm about to doodle on myself. Ooh.
And here we go.
30-28 Atlanta. Here's Wilson taking the snap. Drops back. Wilson heaves it up in the air. And Jones intercepts it in the end zone. And this ball game is over.
There you go, buddy.
The Falcons get their first playoff win since 2004. And they do it in some kind of drama.
Great game, man. Love you, man. Love you, man. Great game. Go win Super Bowl, man. Thank you. Yes, man. Good luck, man. I'm waiting for you, man. Thank you.
Next Sunday at 3 o'clock, the Falcons and 49ers for the right to go to Super Bowl 47 in New Orleans.
Hey, that's the first one. We got 2 more to go. All right, first one. We got 2 more to go.
An outstanding game played in Atlanta between the Seahawks and the Falcons. You know what? A lot of folks, though, are still questioning why the head coach of the Falcons, Mike Smith, will call timeout with 13 seconds left in the game. That will continue to be debated, but a lot more outcry about the decisions in the Baltimore at Denver game.
Yeah.
Set the stage.
And the outcries against John Fox, a couple decisions down towards the end of the game that people are second-guessing. The big one is the last drive of the game for the Denver Broncos, or the second to last one. They're trying to run the clock out to end the game. And it gets to be 3rd and 7 with about 1:45 to go. And everybody thinks John Fox runs the football, but everybody thought, man, put it in the hands of Peyton Manning and let him win the game there. So he runs it, takes the clock down, punts the football, and the Baltimore Ravens get it with 1:09 to go on their own 23, needing a touchdown. What do you think, Chris?
I would have done the same thing. I wouldn't have taken a chance on an incomplete pass there when they had no timeouts. I'll give them the ball with 1:09. No timeouts, and have to score a touchdown to tie me. At that point, I agreed 100% with that one.
Bart, what do you say?
I agree. It took a mile-high miracle for them to pull it off, man. I mean, you want to make them, the probability of them marching 80 yards And in a minute 9, needing a touchdown and a prevent defense with no timeouts, they tackle him in bounds and the clock runs out.
I was sitting there watching.
So we may all agree that it would take guts, if you will, to pass the ball in that situation.
No, it wouldn't have taken guts.
Well,
a lot of people. But I'll tell you why.
What would Bill Belichick have done in that circumstance?
I think he would have ran the football. We've seen it. You know, at the end of the first half against the this past week against the Houston Texans, he hedged the bet. You play the percentages. I was watching the game, and it's 3rd and 7. I go, if he throws this football, man, I think I'd run John Fox out of town.
And you're saying that because?
Because that's how you play the game.
Now,
you do it. So, but go ahead.
Now let's go on to the next one, though. Now he gets the ball back with 31 seconds to go, and he's got 2 timeouts, and he's got Peyton Manning. In that case, I would have done what Bill Belichick did in the Super Bowl with Tom Brady in his first Super Bowl, which is at least give him a chance. Let him throw a screen, let him check something down, try and break a tackle. I'm telling you right now, there's no way I'd been conservative.
You have
there.
Superman's kryptonite on the opposite side, Ed Reed. You don't want to throw the ball in the middle of the field or up the seams with him lurking. He's had more interceptions against Peyton Manning probably than any other player in the NFL, and he has more interception return yards. You don't give him the opportunity to continue to solidify his greatness in his NFL.
So with the coach being mindful of that, John Fox, good call then?
John Fox should have let Peyton Manning try it. Now, I would not have thrown one. I would not have hung one up down the middle with Ed Reed down there, but I would have given a chance for one of my backs to break a tackle on a very safe play, and just like in that Super Bowl in 2001, whenever it was.
Break the tie on this one.
Well, look, I'll say this. Yeah, I could say go out there, get in the shotgun formation if you want, and run a draw. I don't even think I would have thrown a screen because the Baltimore Ravens, you watch that game closely. As that game went on, they were inching up closer and closer to that Denver offense, which was having a hard time, and they would have been ball hawking, looking for a chance.
But that's when you got to trust Peyton Manning. You paid for Peyton
I'm not
Manning.
done.
Didn't Cougar almost pick one off a screen?
Yes,
right side, he almost
did.
picked one up, and that would have been.
Here's the other thing.
Like almost scared war women. What are you talking about?
JB,
Peyton Manning cut him loose.
I know it's Peyton Manning, okay, but if you watch the game, where it's a different circumstance. It's on grass. They just got shocked, which I really do believe. And the other thing is they were going into the win, and that win was a factor. How many times did the Denver Broncos throw the football down the field during the game?
Not too many.
Okay. I mean, it just so.
Did I say you should throw it down the field? No, I did not say that.
Well, and that defense was set up for them to throw it short and to hit it. That's what they were doing.
But you can't be that way. You've got to be in a prevent defense of some kind at that point. You have to be. Otherwise, you give up one over the top.
Which should have been the case at the end of the game.
They were going to give you a check down with a chance for your back to break a tackle. They should have at least tried it. And you got to trust.
I'm not
you got to trust Peyton Manning.
Tip balls lose games. Haloti, Terrell, Cougar, tip balls lose games, and that's a bad way to lose a game at home when you know you're going to get an opportunity in overtime to get the ball back, and Peyton's going to get a chance to touch
and
the
those
ball.
guys would have been 30 yards deep.
No,
Do we give John Fox credit for knowing his team well and what the best call was?
I hope he does know his team. Again, I'm not saying, yeah, you could run a draw or take something, but it's not going to go anywhere. So I don't like sit there and go, boy, that was it. The difference in the game was letting the football go over your head and the interception. But now we're going into these.
We will agree.
Yes.
That was
here's the other thing.
game.
We have these opinions here. We were talking about it for a few minutes before the show. Now, we kind of almost agreed on everything except the last one. Now, everybody else involved with this show, every single one of them was the exact opposite of us. John Fox messed up every situation. So you see there is a tremendous difference of opinion.
And if you listen to the fans,
go for it.
You'll become a fan.
As we head back to the highlights, we check out how one of the season's most debated coaching decisions paid huge dividends on Saturday night. The record-breaking performance of 49ers quarterback, boy, was he fantastic or what? Colin Kaepernick as San Francisco hosted the Green Bay Packers.
We in enemy territory right now. Be leaders out there. Uh-oh. Big bad 49ers. Oh, let's go.
San Francisco's winning formula was anyone's guess. Would their quarterback cower when faced with playoff adversity? The first 2 drives would provide the answer.
Scrambling left, being pressured, throws it late, intercepted down the right
sideline to the 30, to the 20.
Sam! Sam!
And it's Sam Shields to the house. Touchdown!
Well, the one devastating mistake that every 49er hoped that Kaepernick would avoid in his first playoff game, and he makes it on his first series.
Keep playing, keep playing, keep playing. Let's go.
Kaepernick cannot pause. He has to come right back on the field.
Chased by Matthews. Sack!
No, show you faster!
San Francisco facing 3rd down and 8. Steps up, scrambles left.
Going to run the ball to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, to the corner and in. Touchdown 49ers.
Hell yeah! Hey, great job answering. Good job.
Good job up front. We'll make plays for you guys. We'll make plays for you. Good job up front.
We're going to stop the run. We're going to stop the run. Look, I got Kid Kaepernick in the pocket.
The 49ers succeeded when they kept Aaron Rodgers in the pocket.
Aaron standing in, throwing a deep post, way overthrown, and it's caught by Terrell Brown for a pick. Brown's running it back. He's to the 20, Brown to the 30. Terrell Brown's across midfield.
I have admitted, I'm the worst blocker in America. I'm the worst blocker in America. Hey, bro, I don't know where you run it.
It's like a good punt. It's like a good punt. Yeah. Ain't nothing to us. You feel me?
The Packers led 14-7 when a punt turned the game.
It's on the turf. It's covered by the 49ers.
Oh, my goodness. An egregious mistake.
Ain't no time for that. Catch that ball. Hey, we just got to keep this mother. And I'm telling you, he's not a pocket passer.
Colin Kaepernick threw 2 touchdowns to give the 49ers the lead.
Slant to the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown by Crabtree. An absolute laser throw by Kaepernick.
Rainbows right side. Jones leaping, grab. He's got it.
Rodgers standing in, throws a slant to the middle, juggled and held. Touchdown Green Bay.
Give me some. Give me some.
And we're tied again at 21.
Damn, man, I hate playing against some good-ass quarterbacks like that, man. I tell you, man, it's on us, man. Them boys scored 21 points, man. That's amazing.
First possession of the third quarter. Rodgers pressure. Willis got it.
Let's go.
In the second half, the 49ers attacked and hit their target. The Packers could not do the same.
Hey, 15 minutes, we turn it up. Turn it up for 15 minutes, man. We're going to go home with a W.
No, Kaepernick keeps it going outside of the right. He's running down the near side, and Kaepernick is gone.
Kaepernick, 56-yard touchdown run.
Colin Kaepernick with a great fake. He faked out the entire stadium.
Eric Walden on the perimeter got totally involved, taking on that blocker, and lost total sight on containing Kaepernick.
It turned into a foot race, and Charles Woodson could not catch him. You don't realize how fast he is until you're chasing him.
You cannot do that, Eric Walden. Hey, that boy fast, man. Like, hey, he really fast. For real, ain't he? Cap.
I told you I'm beating you in the foot race.
Hey,
I told you.
They tired. They are tired. Let's finish this thing.
The deep ball for Vernon up the near side. Vernon Davis has it at the 15-yard line.
Nice pass.
I told you, bro. Best game of your life today, man. Balled your ass off. Way to step up, man. Thank you. Thank you. Good luck with everything.
Kaepernick shredded the Packers by air and by ground, finishing with 181 rushing yards, the most by a quarterback in NFL history.
So Colin Kaepernick's outstanding effort leads Jim Harbaugh and the Niners back to the NFC Championship game. They head to Atlanta on Sunday, and it's interesting, Atlanta, top seed in the NFC, hosting the game, big underdogs against San Francisco coming to town. Your thoughts about that matchup?
I think it's justified. I don't know. We talked earlier about the Goo Goblins and the Goons. Well, Harbaugh has a bunch of Goo Goblins and Goons. He's bringing them with him. I mean, they are a physical football team, and they force you to be a man up in there. And I don't know if Atlanta is big enough to handle the physicality later in the game in the third and fourth quarter when, you know, those legs get heavy and that body gets sore. And their only hope is Mike Nolan. He was my former defense coordinator, really scheming up some things to get them penetration, getting those guys on the move, because they can't match up with Rapati and Davis off those double teams. When them double teaming and getting the guys off the line of scrimmage.
So now Atlanta has had some success against mobile quarterbacks like RG3 and, of course, Michael Vick. But Colin Kaepernick is another animal altogether, and Cam Newton was a fit for them.
I'm going to tell you why. I've seen a lot of playoff games. But what Colin Kaepernick did after throwing the pick six, you know, we're all waiting for him to fail. Oh, here's a guy's first playoff game. He's going to be a disaster, blah, blah, you know, the whole thing. Comes out, throws a pick six. Now you got it confirmed. And from there, he takes over against the Green Bay Packers. It was just phenomenal. And there are so many weapons. When you start to break down, how do you play the San Francisco 49ers? All right, you've got Frank Gore. You've got to worry about that bang coming in. Now you got Colin Kaepernick. Oh, he's going to keep it around the edge. Oh, now you're going to play action fake. Now you're going to throw the ball. John Abraham's hurt on the other side. He's not rushing the passer. The Falcons don't rush the passer very well. You've got Crabtree on the outside. You've got Vernon Davis. There are so many weapons you have to stop. It's going to be a very difficult day.
I just hope Atlanta shows up. I mean, after that, it's over. Didn't you like he's demonstrating? It was good. It was good. It was good. Now, did I just hear you say?
You better pick the Falcons when this is all said and done. All I got to say, you better pick the Falcons.
Wait, here we go. Here, I just want to know
this. Mr. 0-4 on the picks last week.
You were talking about Colin Kaepernick and RG3. Are you telling JB that Colin Kaepernick's a better quarterback than RG3? Is that what you just said?
It's close.
It's close. Okay, well, we'll answer that question later. But, you know, just a couple things. First off, if you look at the San Francisco 49ers, the defense, it's there. It's hard to fool them. They're pretty creative on the defensive side, which kind of surprised me. You know, they'll trick it up to catch you off guard. But Colin Kaepernick, you know, next year when the draft comes around, I don't want to hear arm strength's not important anymore, because look at the playoffs. Look at the number of throws down the field, and they were magnificent laser shots by just about everybody that was left in the playoffs. And Colin Kaepernick, he led. He threw about 6 footballs. You know, you look at the receivers, you go, oh, they got Crabtree, and I know they do a great job, but he's throwing them in the windows like this. He looks down the field. To him, it's kind of like Brett Favre in his heyday. Everybody looks open, so he just puts it in there. It's the power and the accuracy.
Put Kaepernick in perspective. When you guys are going to face him, what did you think? What did you find out?
That he was fast. I only saw the back of his jersey. He is fast, and he's physically gifted, too. He's not a small quarterback. He's tough to bring down.
How so? Why so?
Because he's 6'5".
Okay.
He has to be at least 230, 240. But he's a long strider. He reminds me of the difficulty that you used to have with tackling Vince Young. Because when you bend over as a 6'2" defender, when you bend over to make the tackle, your body's around his legs. His legs is never together, so you really can't get a good grasp on him. Unlike last week with Wilson, he was a shorter guy, so when you bent over, you got him around the waist, and you could squeeze and take him down. He's tough because he's got long arms. He can keep you away from his body, and he has pull-away speed. You can look at some of those guys in the rearview mirror that was trying to catch him last week, and I think they thought they were faster than what they were.
It would be like tackling a big guy here right there. That's what it would be like, Bart, so if you could tell. But I'll just say this. You look at the Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan can throw the ball under pressure. He has shown it all year long. He stands it or takes the hits and makes the throws. And you look at Julio Jones and Roddy White. They can catch the football with defenders all over them. That's what catches me, and that's why I think the Atlanta Falcons, you got to give them a little chance because of what they can do on the offense.
To Chris's point, who do you like in that game then?
I'm going to take the 49ers in the game.
After all that.
I knew.
Well,
There's no doubt. I knew what he was going to do.
Gonzalez is going to be the X factor because if he can control the middle of the
1,000%.
field, if he can control the middle of the field and keep the sticks moving, and Turner's going to have to get those guys respect because if they feel like they can stop the run in a light box, that's going to allow them to bracket Gonzalez and try and roll coverage over the top of Julio to keep him in front. Now they're going to have to. He's going to have to get their respect early. He's going to have to go down there. It's not going to be about making a move. He's going to have to stick his foot in the ground and run somebody over.
Atlanta's offense is not afraid. They take chances and they are creative.
You like the Niners?
I like the San Francisco 49ers, but I will say this. Just remember that these two playoff runs have been set up by very bold decisions by the Harbaugh brothers. You switch offensive coordinators in Baltimore, you switch quarterbacks in San Francisco. If you're going to be a great coach in this league, you have to make bold moves, and they have to be right. Those guys drilled both of them.
Jim Caldwell called a nice game for the Baltimore Ravens, no question about it. Hey, let's get back to the highlights, and we take you inside the huddle with Tom Brady. The legendary Patriots quarterback was mic'd up for another playoff masterclass, if you will, as New England hosted Houston.
I knew you were going to take them. I knew you were. 1,000%. Oh, we're going to play the game. Oh, we're going to do.
Don't nobody in this world believe in us except us.
There ain't no tomorrow. There ain't no tomorrow.
I love every single one of your asses, and we're gonna leave every single thing on this damn field. Hell yeah. And after that, we're gonna stand in the middle and we're gonna dance.
It's a nice October day.
I know, it's great. Awesome for us.
Yeah.
Really good day for us.
Yeah, we're ready, baby. Your boy's coming for you, early and often. Hey, let's get it going, huh? Let's get the runs going. Let's get everything going. Start making some plays out here.
Snap to Brady, fires to the right, caught there, down the right sideline, and down the sideline, across the 25, across the 20, down to the 15-yard line, Shane Vereen.
Wait till he hit!
Brady fires wide open to Hernandez inside the 5 and out of the 1-yard line. It's first and goal to go.
Let's go! Let's go!
Hurry up! Hurry up!
Let's go!
Quickly to the line, and here's a handoff to Vereen, who goes in untouched.
Way to go.
Houston wasn't even close to being ready for that snap. They were so out of sync and confused, and Brady knew it.
He's going to go fast. They've got to give us a chance to match personnel, but they may not. So we go from base to dime or dime to base, smash it over and play, okay?
That's a hard group for them to handle.
Yeah, it is.
Because he's so much faster than those guys.
I know. Hey, good drive. Keep it going, huh? Let's do it again.
In the first half, Tom Brady connected with Wes Welker 6 times for 120 yards. Wonder what Giselle thinks of Welker's performance.
First and 10, Patriots at their own 45. Play action, back to throw, goes down the left side with it.
He caught it! He caught it!
He caught it! It was miraculous! What a catch by Welker!
Are you kidding me?
Nice job, Wesley.
Brady in the shotgun, Vereen to his left. He looks to the left, Vereen's wide open, waltzes into the end zone for a touchdown. I could have caught that one.
Running back Shane Vereen eviscerated the Texan defense, amassing 124 total yards and scoring 3 touchdowns.
Brady shoots it long and deep down the left side, and it is caught. Spectacular catch for a touchdown by Shane Vereen.
And Belichick just gives it a little passing glance as his team puts up 6 more.
We go patience, patience. There was no patience. He just ran.
New England scored on 3 of their first 4 possessions in the second half and turned a 4-point halftime lead into a 25-point fourth quarter cushion.
Hand off to Ridley up the middle inside the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown. Stephen Ridley blasting right up the middle.
That's a stuff it down your throat drive right there.
I'm throwing it quick.
No problem.
I'm throwing everything quick tonight.
Yeah.
I ain't holding that mother.
Boom.
Perfect. Boom, 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 boom.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Out we go.
And on to Ridley to the left. He cuts through a hole at the 20, at the 15, at the 10, at the 5, to the 4-yard line.
Houston is losing their composure.
Hey!
They can't get lined up. It's taking over. Brady's getting them to the line of scrimmage.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
He caught him off guard, quick snap, and he's doing it again right here. Great job by the quarterback.
Houston defense might want to get set here.
Out we go.
He's in for the touchdown. And for Houston, that is the backbreaker.
Way to go, baby. Way to see that. Big play.
The Patriots are in the AFC Championship game next Sunday night.
41-28. Houston is done.
Nice game, man. You're a great player. You're a great player.
It's a one-week season. It's what we do between now and next Sunday. That's our season. What happens in the next week? Everything you got into it, fellas. Let's sell out now. We got a lot at stake. Put ourselves in a good position. Now it all comes down to what we can do this week.
So a lot of talk about the Patriot way this week, but for a moment, we're going to turn our attention to the Pats' arch rival. That would be the New York Jets, and we've got the guy in the studio, Bart Scott. Yeah, I think we might have a question coming that way. So you can answer all the questions about the Jets, but the first and most obvious one.
And we want to hear about Tebow. How'd it go with Tebow?
You mentioned Tim Tebow, so there was an awful lot coming out of the locker room. Surprisingly to me, kind of casting him in a light of, well, is he what he appears to be, or what's he like? What's the real deal about Tim Tebow?
Tim Tebow is everything that he's always been and more. He's a tireless worker. You know, he hears all the criticism about his mechanics, what he can't be. But what I was impressed with is he started off with a routine of throwing the ball and trying to improve every day, you know, at the beginning of the season. And this routine continued every day. And he never wavered. He never complained. He never caused a problem within the locker room.
And the kind of person?
He's a great person. You know, personally, one of my favorite people because, you know, when he was in Denver, I wondered, was it real too? And he showed me that because he showed me that every day. As
Phil?
Well, no, I'm
burning a hole in the side of my face.
No, I'm smiling because I know how Bart Scott is in the locker room. I'm smiling because Tim Tebow's probably the opposite of Bart in the locker room. So I know you had some fun with it, right? But getting on Tim Tebow and bringing him in the group?
I asked him to baptize me.
Okay.
It never happened, but we're still working on it.
Yeah, no.
So look here. It's interesting that you're here with us because you had a media boycott, a media embargo, if you will, all season long. Why?
Well, just because at the end of the day, I like to carry myself as a professional, and I like to go about business as a professional. I didn't like the personal attacks. You know, just, you know, a quick example now is the media following Rex down to the Bahamas.
Right.
Like, who does that? That's more something you do with a movie star or TMZ or something like that. I can't imagine them going out and catching Tom Coughlin laid out, you know, all rotisserie like, and following him talking about, you know, Tom Coughlin has a Pied Piper Sailor Man tattoo on his back or anything like that. I think it just goes out. You know, it's amazing because we're in the same town, but we're covered differently. But I think we open the door up for that when we start coming in and allowing the media to come in. They weren't used to coming in with Eric Mangini because he didn't allow it, and we kind of let everybody be a free spirit, and I think they took advantage of it. It was all fun and dandy when we were winning, but when we started losing, they took advantage of it.
How bad was the locker room, though, by the end? Because it seemed like there were a lot of leaks in the newspapers and unnamed sources.
Listen, I got a theory about that because nobody within that locker room was together. We continued to hang with each other.
Really? Together?
We were together.
Despite the way it came off in public.
You can come over. You can see Mark over with me. You can see Mark at my house. You can see guys. Guys are hanging out with each other all the time.
Of course.
Yes, it was never that. With that whole anonymous source, out of the 4 years I've been there, only one reporter has ever, and I won't mention his name because I don't want to give him an opportunity to get more Twitter followers or anything like that. Only one reporter has ever had an anonymous source. So I would think of his anonymous source, he just wouldn't talk to one person. So I always thought that anonymous source was a figment of his imagination, And I also believe that, in the New York media, everybody comes to New York media because it's the biggest media in the world, and everybody's striving to be somebody else and try and get better. So I think he was trying to be Adam Scheffler or trying to be Jay Glazer and trying to elevate himself to get a job.
So, Bart, to Chris's question, so you're saying absolutely that was not a dysfunctional locker room at all? You guys were together.
You know the problem with the New York Jets this year? We didn't have enough quality players to win.
All right, I guess we've covered it all then. But I have to ask you, before we leave this segment, what about your future?
Well, it's one of those things. It's up in the air. I have a huge cap number, and I understand how the business works. Friday, I'm
kind of like Chris's cap number then? Is that what the deal is?
I don't have a watch like that.
Well, I'm going to be pounding it in the next couple days.
Go ahead.
I'm off the toe surgery, and toe surgery Friday, and we'll figure out where we take it from there.
And it's been all season long. Game 3, right?
Yeah, Game 3, I tore a ligament in my toe. We got to take some bones out and reroute it, and we'll be right back.
I hear you. Thanks for your candor. It is time for Dear Insiders. We all know that Phil was on David Letterman's show.
Okay.
How many times have you been on that program, by the way?
I don't know.
Number of times?
Couple times, yes.
Number of times indeed. All right. Dear Phil.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on the show this week. Charlie Sheen and you are 2 of my top 10 favorite guests. But I'm just wondering, what did you and Charlie talk about in the green room? Thanks in advance, Dave from the Ed Sullivan Theater.
Well, it kind of reminds me of when Charlie Sheen started 2.5 Men, which was on CBS. It was a big hit, Chris, just by the way, and everything. It just came to me. We were at Tavern on the Green after they introduced his show, and I was part of CBS, and I was over there, and I had to fight my way through about 40 people to try to say hi to him, his publicists, his bodyguards, and I didn't get there. And the same thing happened on David Letterman. I loved to see him, but there were some big men around that building.
But
they were bigger than you.
Phil's in a different class than we are now. He's hanging out with the Hollywood types.
Am I getting set up here?
Doing David
Jay Leno,
David Letterman, doing hanging out with Charlie Sheen, because when you're that popular, you just, the paparazzi and all this stuff. I think we've got a shot of the paparazzi.
Here we go.
Afterwards
Here we go.
Yeah, here's Charlie Sheen coming out, and it's unbelievable. It's a mob scene, and then Phil comes out. A little bit late. And I think they ran out of flash bulbs. I'm not sure. But they took all their pictures and then they left, right? And then
when Charlie left, everybody left. But you know what? All the people on the side were saying some really mean things about Charlie because I signed autographs.
You're the man.
There you go. Thank you.
There you go.
Nice. It was
Player's perspective of one choir boy, Phil Simms.
What the hell is this? This is like this is
Absolutely. Go ahead. What do they think about Phil?
He doesn't remember me.
We love him. I've always been a great fan of Jeff Hostetler.
Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Now wait, hold on. Let me finish it. No, that's fine.
Break.
I got 2 Super Bowl rings, and he helped me get one of them, so I'm very dear. Now, where are you going to play next year, you think? Because just remember, I'm going to announce one of those games. I will get even.
He might be right next to you.
That's the bottom line.
No, I wish you well, though, Bart.
And before we go, I want to speak on behalf of all of us here at Inside the NFL, at NFL Films, and Showtime, and wishing our broadcast colleague, Stuart Scott, the best. We know that he's battling cancer again, so do know that our prayers fervently are going up for you, partner, and your family. And to all of you, we thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week on Inside the NFL. Big thanks to Bart Scott, and we do hope to see you on the football field next week, or next year, that is.
We'll do. Thanks a lot.
And Phil will be gracious to you. Hey, folks, we'll see you right here on Showtime.
Just watch out for the paparazzi. Wherever Phil is,
that's where the paparazzi is. He has a pulled ligament in his toe. Could you get one of those on, what's that, in your toe?
Torn,
Yeah, it's torn ligament? Man, I wish you'd get one on that tongue.